Hi, welcome back to another video. My name is Kaylee and I share about what living intentionally looks like for me. So if you would like to learn about some ways that you can incorporate intentional living into your life, keep watching. Today, I want to talk about my 2025 reading goals. What you see in front of me here are all of my physical books that I have not read yet. Some of these I have read pieces of them, but not all of them in their entirety, especially ones that are related to my work or are nonfiction books that I can kind of read piece by piece rather than reading them all in one go like I would a fiction book. This is one of my goals for 2025, is getting through some of these books. Some of them I have had for 6 years. Others I got last year. I have 37 physical books that I haven't read, and I have 22 books on my Kindle that I haven't read. My first goal in 2025 is to read 80 books. I have actually, at time of filming, already finished 7. None of them were the physical books that you see in front of you right now. So with there being 37 of these and 22 books on my Kindle, I'm definitely not going to get through all of the books that I already own. Part of the reason for that is I already have a number of books on hold through my library, and there are a number of books coming out this year that I still want to read. So realistically, I will probably only get through 15 or so of the physical books and 1 to 5 of the Kindle books, and then also getting books through my library and new releases this year. Let's talk about books that I want to read from my physical collection. Carve the Mark and The Fates Divide. I have had these books probably the longest out of any book that you see in front of you right now. I am so excited to read these, and I have been since I got them 6 years ago, but I have not read them yet. So this year I want to finish both of these books. I've already started this book and I'm really enjoying it. There are also gorgeous illustrations in it, so I definitely want to finish this year. Pax and Pax Journey Home are another 2 books that I really hope to get through this year. The covers are beautiful, and I've heard that the story is both heartbreaking and heartwarming. I would also like to get through The Vanishing Half, The Tainted Cup, This Here Flesh, The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. Also at the end of last year, I believe, the 5th installment of this series came out. And so I am really excited to jump into this. The Stormlight Archive is something that I have been putting off starting, and I'm very excited to get into it and through it this year. The Elflane Chronicles, this is by a local Woodstock author, and so I'm very excited to dive into this. I actually also have this on my Kindle, so I'll probably be reading it there. And finally, the other books that I am prioritizing from this stack are the Caraval trilogy. I actually also have the Christmas book, which is called Spectacular. I bought it at the end of last year, and so I would really like to get through all of these before the end of the year so that I can read Spectacular in December. If I get through more of these, that is fantastic, but those are the ones that I am putting on the highest priority, and then we'll get through as many others as I possibly can as well. Another one of my reading goals this year is to finish out some series that I have already started and to start a couple new series. So like I said, the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson is one series that I would really like to start this year. And then I would really like to dive into Robin Hobb's books this year. There are a lot of them, but I've heard so many good things, and I think this is the year that I have to dive in. I've also already started this year the Murderbot series by Martha Wells, and I would like to finish the rest of those. I'm also following along a reading challenge with a local bookstore here in Woodstock called Foxtale Bookshop in downtown Woodstock. The reading challenge is as follows. In January, read a book from a genre that is new or newer to you. February, read a historical fiction book from your favorite era of history. In March, read a book that was published the year you were born. April, read a book that contains an environmental aspect. In May, read a book about a fresh start. In June, read a book that contains a controversial topic. In July, read a classic book that you've always wanted to read or reread. In August, read a book that has a school featured in it. In September, read a banned book. In October, read a book recommended by a friend or family member. In November, read a cozy mystery, fantasy, or romance. And in December, read a book from a completed series. So all of those are things that I will definitely accomplish this year, and I am excited to be able to kind of jump in on a challenge that was set by a local bookshop. A few new releases that I'm really excited to pick up this year are Good Dirt by Charmaine Wilkerson, Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Water Moon by Samantha Soto Yambao, Lightfall by Ed Crocker, Blackwood's Blue Sky by Eowyn Ivy, A Drop of Corruption, which is actually the second book after The Tainted Cup, Death of the Offer by Nyedi Okorafor, So You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros, simply because I would like to finish the series of the books that are out so far. The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, and Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I know there will be more, but those are what are on my watch list right now. I already have some of them on hold at the library, and then we'll jump on the hold list for the others as soon as I am able. The final thing is I am hoping to spend less than $50 on books. I was about to say $0, and then I remembered if we travel, I will most likely pick up some books. So many of these have been purchased or gifted to me when I was out of the country or even out of the state, just traveling. And that is something that is really special because the book gets to hold a memory and it gets to be a story that I can escape into sometime in the future. So I'm setting a limit of $50 for book buying, and I can only purchase books. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that because my husband is sitting right over there. And if I say this out loud, he's going to remind me of that later and not let me buy books. Dave, are you going to buy books this year?
I don't know.
Well, you said if you went to Second and Charles, that what? You were going to get a book?
If they have the book that I want.
Okay. We're setting a book limit for the two of us at $100 for the year. The caveats are they have to be a book that we really, really want or we have wanted for a long time, or a purchase while we are on a trip as kind of a memento of the trip. So that's what I'm getting into this year for my reading goals in 2025. I would love to hear any new releases that you're excited about or your book reading goals this year. Let me know down in the comments. Like I said, I'll also be linking my Goodreads account down there so you can follow me and I can follow along with what you're reading. So while I don't know exactly what books that I'll be reading this year, I definitely have a priority list of books that I already own and books that I can get through my local library. But I do know that I would like to complete 80 books, potentially more. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful or got some good ideas from the books that I am hoping to read this year. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you would like to stick around for more ideas on living an intentional life. Until next time.